Before we pin down our frog, we're going to check out what's inside his mouth. And to do that, as you can see, it may be kind of hard to open up his mouth. So what I want you to do is open it up as much as you can. Take your dissecting scissors and insert them one side inside of his mouth, one side just outside of his mouth, and snip through his jaw back to behind his eardrum, his tympanum. You may have to cut through bone, that's alright. And we need to do the same thing to the other side. Insert one side of the scissors into his mouth, keep the other side out, and cut through. Careful not to cut yourself, guys. Pay attention to where the scissors are. Back to just behind his ear. See how you can see the bone there now? Now you should be able to open up the frog's mouth and examine the structures inside. The first thing that leaps out at us, pun intended, is the frog's tongue. Our tongue is stuck, or attached rather, to the back of our throat, and we can wiggle the front part. But for the frog, it's the exact opposite. The frog's tongue is attached to the front of his mouth, which allows him to flip his tongue outward and catch prey. Remember, when he's alive, it's quite sticky. Inside the frog's mouth, we can examine this rigid row of maxillary teeth. They don't really feel like teeth. They just feel like a firm ridge. And you'll see these two structures inside his mouth if you poke them. They do feel firm and kind of sharp. Those are his vulmarine teeth. Now, frogs don't use their teeth to chew. They use them to hold on to their prey. Right next to the vulmarine teeth are these two holes. Those holes are his internal nostrils. Remember, frogs breathe through their noses. So outside is his nose, nostrils. Inside you can see the connection to the nostrils. Let's see. He has the roof of his mouth. Down at the back, if you look above, you'll see that that's his ear. He has a structure inside of his mouth called the eustachian tubes that connect the ear to his mouth. It helps equalize pressure so that they can hear very well. We have the same thing, always connected to our throats, and that's what helps your ears pop, like when you go up in elevation or on an airplane. If you stick the probe through the eustachian tube, you can see the probe wiggling on the other side of his tympanum, his ear. At the back of his throat, you can see the opening to his esophagus, just right there, and his glottis, which is where he breathes through. You can open it up. And if we have time, we will stick a pipette into his glottis once we have his belly open so we can see his organs and see if we can see him breathe by inserting air into his lungs. The opening to his stomach is behind the glottis. There's a little slit back there. Behind the glottis is the opening to the esophagus. So the glottis opens up. Behind the glottis is the opening to his esophagus.